Hello, trumpet players. This is video number 3 in our Comeback Trumpet Player's Guide. In this video, we'll be talking about how to use the Physical Trumpet Pyramid as a structure for your return to the trumpet. You may have already seen videos on this channel that talk about the Physical Trumpet Pyramid, but most of those videos will have talked about that structure in the context of how to make a daily routine or how to make a warm-up. We like to do certain exercises in certain orders for the benefits that gives us on a daily basis. However, that same structure can also be used as the return from not playing if you follow those same levels of the pyramid for what you do one day and then what you do the next day. It makes for a beautiful way to come back to the trumpet. Let's quickly do a review of what the levels of the pyramid are. We have at the bottom of the pyramid, we have air, then we have embouchure, then we have flexibility, then we have articulation, and then at the very top we have multiple tongue. That is the pyramid. Now, translating that into what we're going to do in the exercises, we're going to start with air exercises. Now, air exercises are not the same thing as breathing exercises. Just want to make that clear. Then we're going to do lip buzz. We're going to do mouthpiece buzz. We're going to do long tones. Then scales. I teach a specific kind of scale that I call tonalization studies. Then we're going to do lip slurs, articulation studies, and finally we're going to end with the double tongue and triple tongue. We call that multiple tongue. Now, what's this got to do with you and your return? We're going to follow that same structure. If you'd like to follow this system, and this system has worked literally for hundreds of comeback players. We're going to start first with air. And we're going to do that for as long as 2 weeks. Now, you have to decide for yourself how long you want to do that. I did it myself for 2 weeks. Now, something worth mentioning before we move on. I did say in the first video that part of what qualifies me to teach comeback players is that my physical approach to the instrument has comeback built into it. And you can go back to that video and see that again. But my system was actually created when I thought I was going to have to take months off from the instrument. And this was right after I made some changes. And I wrote out instructions to myself because I was concerned that I would forget all the changes that I made. So basically what we call the Physical Trumpet Pyramid today is something I invented for me to do after I came out of boot camp. Never had to go to boot camp, but that structure stayed in place in my life. Now, today, I do it every day. Every day that I practice, I restart playing trumpet all over again. And yes, I do believe that that qualifies me in a very unique way. And you can read more about my, not read, but watch more about my qualifications on this video up here. Video number 1 on this series. This is number 3, as I told you in the intro. Okay, so let's look at what you would do at each stage coming back. The first stage, you want to just do stuff with the air, not breathing. I don't teach breathing exercises. Okay? So we're looking at the exhale, not the inhale. And one of the exercises I might do is to put my lips on the back side of the mouthpiece and just blow. Remember not to puff your cheeks. And I apologize for the phone. I hope you can't hear that. If you can, I apologize for that. I should have disconnected it before I started. Now I'm blowing through the mouthpiece enough to get a feeling of it backing up on me. And we want to do that kind of air exercise. It can be that exercise. It can be blowing into the fist. It can be blowing a candle out from a distance. I used to do an exercise where I would hold a piece of thread. At first I'd start with a short piece and try to blow it straight out and make the thread increasingly longer and try to make it stand straight out. Anything that you do like that to generate airflow in that direction is going to help you have a better start before you get back onto the instrument. All of what we do physically and musically is rooted in how we use our air. So it only makes sense that when we start for the day, we start with air. And I might keep slipping like that because it's the same structure. So it also makes sense that when you've been away from the trumpet for a long time, to do air by itself at least for one full day. What am I saying? I am saying only do air exercises. Don't touch trumpet. Don't, no fingering, nothing. All you're going to do is blow air. Now, you could blow air through the horn. I don't think that's such a good idea, though, because it's really not the same thing, okay? I think blowing on the back side of the mouthpiece is nice. Blowing into a tube is nice. Using one of those exercise doohickey things that they've got is nice. And we want we want to do anything that engages the core muscles and focuses the air outward. That's the first stage. And like I said, you can make that stage last as long as 2 weeks if you want. Alternatively, you could play another instrument, right? Like a recorder. If you want to do recorder, that's something that you could do. You could practice singing as well. If you are someone who has singing skills, singing is that same kind of air delivery. It is a little different, but at least that's going in the right direction. All right, so that's the first thing you're going to do, and you're not going to do anything else musical besides that. Then, when that stage is over for you, you go to the next stage, and you now do, once again, the air again, but now we're going to buzz just one note. So you've done air exercises for as long as 2 weeks. Now we're just going to buzz one note. If you can't buzz it and keep it steady like that, you're not ready to change notes. That's the first step. Just buzz one note. You want it to be about as much as 10 seconds long. We don't want to do beats because you can speed up the beats in your head, and that's not really long enough. So 10 seconds long. Let me see 10 seconds. That's about 10 seconds. And that sounds about right. If you can hold one steady note for 10 seconds, you're ready now to add new notes. Now, when you're ready to put other notes, we want to go just stepwise up one note and back down. Okay? When you can do that smoothly, do that same but with several notes. Then do the same thing going down. Then we want to expand from there. Okay, and then okay, and same thing going down. And you want to expand as far as you can go. Let's not look at the lip buzz as a prerequisite. This is not, we're going to do this if you can do this. If the lip buzz is just something that doesn't work for you, do not do the lip buzz at this stage. We're only doing the lip buzz now if you can do the lip buzz. If you're trying to do lip buzz and go, right, if it's not coming out right, then we skip this with those students. All right, there is no, the comeback to the trumpet can be traumatic sometimes, and there is no need to make it worse, right? So let's not stress over a lip buzz not working, okay? Next thing we want to do, if you do the lip buzz, is the mouthpiece placement exercise. And I have a video about the mouthpiece placement exercise. Now, if you're a non-buzzer and the buzzing lip buzz without the mouthpiece is not working for you, then you want to skip all of that and go straight to this. Now we're going to do the same thing we did on the lip buzz. We're going to do that now on the mouthpiece. One long note first. Now, oh, by the way, how long are we going to do that? That's that right there. The lip buzz should be 2 weeks of effort. You should be learning to lip buzz for 2 weeks. You can scale that down if you want to. I'm not your teacher, so I'm not going to say it must be 2 weeks. If you want the easiest, smoothest transition back into the trumpet, I'm recommending 2 weeks of just lip buzz. The alternative is if you are not a buzzer, you can't do lip buzz, it's not coming out right, skip that and go on to this next step. Now you're going to do 2 weeks again with just the mouthpiece. And like I said, you can adjust this down. If you want to do 1 day of each, that's fine. Just don't blame me if later you have chaos in your playing. Okay? I did 2 weeks of each of these. When I made all my changes, I did 2 weeks of each of these. Now, I would not have been able to do 2 weeks coming out of the Army. I understand that. That would have been preferable, because now we're talking about a matter of months to get back into the horn. Once again, you can scale it down. But if you want to do this in a way that's got the least amount of problems, I recommend 2 weeks at each step. So now we're on to the mouthpiece. One steady note. No dynamics, No crackling in the sound. We just want one steady note. Do that for one day. One steady note on the mouthpiece. Then start going up and down. We did it with long notes. Now we're going to do it with quarter notes. And by the way, I don't tongue when I'm doing this because we want to introduce the tongue only later. Okay, we're just working on the air. Remember, we were doing air. So, by the way, I kind of skipped that part. Now that we're on the mouthpiece, we're going to do each day air first, lip buzz second. We'll do the mouthpiece placement exercise next, and then we'll do the mouthpiece. Now, in this stage where we're focusing on the mouthpiece, we're going to do shorter versions of the lip buzz. We're not going to do lip buzz as long as we did the previous week. We're going to do a short lip buzz, just enough to get warmed up, and then we're going to go to the mouthpiece. Now we're going to spend more time on the mouthpiece, okay? And we're going to do scales. But expanding out, expand up. And then we want to do back and forth like that. Then we want to go up to the F. I say F, it might not be an F. We just want to go to that fourth scale degree. Then we go up and down. Then once you have a pretty good expansion on the range, you want to start adding stuff that first of all covers the whole range. So I just did something that went up to the top of what might be your comfortable range, and then down to your bottom of your comfortable range, and then back up to the center. You want to do stuff like that. This is over that 2 weeks where you're just playing mouthpiece, right? Then you can start doing thirds. And then you can do intervals. And stuff like that. Once you're doing intervals, now you're ready to do the next stage, which is to go on to long tones. Now at this point, the long tones you should do depend on where your strength is. Maybe you want to start with F. A lot of people start with F. And we're going to do just like what we've been doing. F, G, F. And we just do that for one day. You can do up one note and down one note. Now I have all of this stuff written out. Sometimes I have to rewrite it because I lose it, right? But it's very systematic what I do. We do the one note up, one note down, then we can do da 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 da, those, and then da 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 dee da da da. This is on the trumpet, right? So I call them long tones. They're not really long tones. They're more like moving long tones. And another word for moving long tones is flow study. And we're gonna, once again, we're gonna expand out. Now, if after you've done all that, you still have a low range on the trumpet, then your expansion should be from the bottom. So let's say, for example, the highest note you can play comfortably is the low C. Then you want to expand from that. And as I was saying earlier, take your time, be slow with this. The slower and more careful you are with this comeback, the better your playing is going to be. And the more grounded it's going to be. And the less frantic and panicked it's going to be. And you're going to enjoy it better. And each one of these stages, I'm going to let you read more about I keep saying read, watch the videos about the Physical Trumpet Pyramid. And yes, you can read the Physical Trumpet Pyramid book. That can help you with this. But you're going to take at least 1 or 2 days on each of these levels, preferably more like 2 weeks at each one of these levels, until you get all the way to where you're double tonguing and triple tonguing. Then your comeback will be done, and it will be, at that point, it will be time for you to start doing the Physical Trumpet Pyramid every day as a routine. Some people call that a warm-up, but it's really a routine. And that'll be your base of operations, and then you'd start doing your music over the top of that. That's how I teach the comeback players. It's a very structured, do this, do that, do this, do that approach. It's not an emotional approach. It's not a try harder approach. It's a very practical, structured approach to returning back to the trumpet. And if you have any questions about how this works, or the later details, because at this point we've only gotten to the long tones, and after that we want to start doing scales, and we want to do lip slurs and intervals. My system is set up for all of that stuff. You would be, yes, I'm thinking about writing a book about all this, and it would have all these exercises in it. The problem with that is the book would have to be big, because of the fact that some people have a higher range when they first start than others. And you want to go with what your range is. You want to expand up and down from your most comfortable note. Otherwise, you're not going to have that quality of a comeback that most of my students would have. I hope that makes sense. This is, by the way, the same way I teach the beginners. It's just a little bit different. It's a little different. But then everything I do is different from one student to the next. So anyway, if you have questions about this, please feel free to ask. I think I've given you a nice taste of how the Physical Trumpet Pyramid works in this context. If you want to know more, I do strongly recommend checking out the videos, check out the book, and then from there, if you want lessons, of course I am available for lessons for the comeback players. I'm not one of those that wants to hold on to you forever. If you just need me to help you get through the comeback, I can help you get through the comeback, and we'll make that work, and then you don't need to come back for lessons again after that. That's how I teach. Right? So anyway, please feel free to ask. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching this video. I wanted to spend just a minute to let you know that there's a better, more convenient, more organized way to access all of these videos. We have literally hundreds of videos here on YouTube, and quite frankly, it's a bit of a mess. So, to make it a little bit more organized and easier for you to access what you want to access, I created a separate page, a separate area on my website, that's eddylewis.com, And if you go to eddylewis.com, click on the menu, click on videos. It will take you there. I have the videos categorized, and then within those categories, some of them, like the educational videos, you can click on it and go in there and look for the videos specifically that you're looking for. Okay? So go to eddylewis.com, eddylewis.com. Thank you very much.